This is Gerald Theo van Was. Once we learn and understand even better why words are like what they are, of a combinations of letters, letters which all inspire us to go into a certain direction, and the combinations of letters inspire us to go to a certain direction, to behave towards something in a certain way. Words should inspire actually, and they are inspired when they were named after what we think was important in them. So let's continue to show actually what is behind the words, how the letters so can be like seeds of these words, in which the word can be also like a seed of inspiration, how we can approach it, how we can sense it, and how we should sense it, how it is actually also describing our focus, what we should have upon it. Village is my next word. The background, you have my theory here, and I will use that also to explain it a little bit, but also to base myself upon it. It's a resume of a larger theory, but it is good enough to if you want to go back to it and understand it yourself. So let's go to village, which I assume could be indeed from a French word, ville. So I will also go to ville before I have a village, because I think that's the core word of it. There already is the essence in it. The V is a letter from the last category, which is always a bit more difficult to express, because it doesn't have a steady form, it doesn't have a steady direction, while the first 9 letters are a steady point in space. The X-line letters, they are really clear directions. Here we have to find our direction. So we know there are 3 areas always, the 1, 2, 3, just like you have 3 categories, you have 1, 2, 3 areas. And the V will switch these areas. It is about a starting point which can be anywhere of these areas, and they can switch depending on the circumstances. The V is about the starting point of my material, which can switch of position. So yeah, there will be an overlapping area in which this material can switch. Not only that there is an overlapping area of material in space. That's the first uncertainty, where I can show it to you that the things can change of position. But the material can also change over time, during a certain time. Material, like for instance, you have a collection of money. Let's say, the money also goes to different places in a different timing, also depending on what you do with it. The value, the V, is the same, but it will move in time and space the whole time. The value is the same. That's maybe a good example to have a good idea of what the V is. It is like a value. The value will be the same, but the place and time is according to context always somewhere else. And you will have overlappings, of course, also of where it will land, not only in space, but also in timing, where the material will switch position. And it can even be from different, money is maybe not a best example, but some things can be from different persons, from different with different purposes or whatever. It can change and switch over time. That's what you need to remember. Not an easy thing to build up a word with that V, but it tells you actually the basis is we have something, a value, which says, okay, it can change place over time, or it can have a different timing. With the E to it, it gives you that the idea that you have an idea with it, so that you're also inspired with that idea to change something. So we are. What is the change? The change is, of course, let's switch place in a certain time. Let's do that. And then with the L, let's shape that further. That's because that's what the L is about. And with the double L, let's shape that in all direction into a form of its own. So that you have a form of its own which can be formed there and which can form itself also over time. That's what the in the end will have also. It will shape its own form, its own rhythm, its own highlighting value, which the A then also always is. I have a timing, yes, and I find the timing for it. I know I can do something with it. So that you have in the end a center of its own. Center is maybe not a good explanation. Center, but it is centered, of course, in these time processes that work on its own, which is own highlighting value, its value that it will give it to you. With village, the next letter is villa. It reminds us a bit, of course, of the villa, where it, of course, the shape will be formed more physical. There will be formed something at a certain space and time with a shape and form of its own, where I can go to, where I can highlight these values as well. I will give it also more form. The J to it will be that influence that it will give to you from outside to inside, from the bigger concepts to the smaller concepts. It will highlight the importance of this concept and that it can be inspiring. It is not just a highlighting value. You can also experience its influences during a certain time, of course. This is vaguely what is happening there in the word village. But maybe it's best, of course, that I will just show it to you where you can find the same aspects that I described with my letters in the village. When I have a random image that shows a village, you have a couple of elements that are always there, the small houses, a couple of trees. It's always quite cozy. You have even a few mills to it, a road to it. It's pretty cozy as well, as you can see. And what we need, of course, for it is an approach towards it, a person that goes towards it. The V is also going towards it. So we need that person that has a relationship with it, and it will describe its relationship to the village via the starting point of the letter V, as if it's going there. And that's going there is probably also decided at a certain time, so that we also want to go there at a certain point and at a certain position and find its own position in there. The E will emphasize that idea, and it will bring you that idea, and it will also bring you new life, which with the L will give it shape. With the double L will give it so much shape that it's even will emphasize that bringing life. With E, the new idea, or the new life, indeed. Yeah, give it a new life with L together. Very much associated well with these windmills, with almost like the double L's. It grows, it brings in more life. It brings in not just new life, but even more life, and emphasizes that as well. Next letter A will be the focuses of where this life will be brought and what it will bring forward. And the je, actually, it's almost like, yeah, it's from these positions as well, but it has a general influence bigger than life that will also shine on it a little bit. So I have the preference of this outside influence, of just show it as the nicely sunshine above it. This je as the constant influence, not just over the whole situation, but also a constant influence that guides over it, that you can experience under its whole wings of influences of already what is described in the word. And this will earn its name. So the village will earn its name as if going there was the best decision ever, simply because every element that was brought to it, and every person that also was brought to it, expanded the same sort of local life in it as well. And that's the inspiration which the village is, and that's how a village should work, and that's how people should go to a village and should be attracted to a village. That's what the word village brings, that's what the word village describes. And I hope this could inspire you as well. Not that I'm saying that you can only live in a village, but you can see that village easily is associated with something that also brings you sort of happiness and life as well, and in that cozy setting, as it always is associated with. Thanks again for watching. Bye bye.